we're back with another episode of Boruto, and one of the things that I pointed out last week was the fact that Boruto canonically has something that resembles that of a lightsaber, and I thought that was the funniest thing ever last week when I was talking about it. I didn't really specify, really, now that I think about it, but I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was the funniest thing. Little did I know that next week, or this week rather, because now the episodes come out. Little did I know that the next episode was gonna have something that was even more ridiculous. I would say the best way possible, but I don't know how to describe it. So without further ado, let's just get into it. We start off the episode exactly kind of where we left off previously before, with Boruto and the group getting together, getting prepared to go see what's going on with Konohamaru and Mugino, and Katatsuke actually goes along with them, and he has like this new suit thing that was used for a specific thing, but he modified it for combat. They show it off a little bit, but it kind of ends up backfiring on them later on towards the end of it, because he has like these like gauntlets that are able to absorb ninjutsu, I would say. I guess that's what it's doing, because that's so far the thing that they've been doing so far, because they get to the site of the crashed airship from Victor, and they find that there are these scientific ninja tool puppets, and he uses his little gauntlet things to create these two orbs on each arm, and the scientific ninja tool puppets are shooting off like fire bombs, or like fire style jutsu bombs, or whatever, right? Whatever you want to call them. And the whole time he's absorbing the jutsu, he's absorbing the bombs that are coming from the scientific ninja tool puppets. And he defeats them, or they all defeat them, and then they go and find Konohamaru and Mugino in a cave. And Mugino is obviously injured, and he's probably about to die. And yeah, let's go ahead and spoil it. Yeah, he dies in this episode. He sacrifices himself, actually. Yeah, exactly like what I thought was going to happen, that Mugino was going to die, because they had the episode, they give him his backstory, and I'm like, oh, they're going to kill him off, aren't they? And yeah, they killed him off in a self-sacrifice scene, and yeah, Al pretty much admits himself, because he ends up showing up in the episode as well, that he is in collaboration with the organization of Kara. He's very impressive, actually, because now he's got like these other scientific ninja tools like all over his body and shit. Like he's got like this like chakra blade thing that comes out from his arm. He's got like these two little like holes that shoot like other bombs like directly towards a target, and actually hit Konohamaru with it. And then the fucking ridiculous thing that I was talking about, that I was looking at it from a distance, because he was like further away from towards the entrance of the cave, whilst the group was actually like further deep inside of it. I'm looking at what he's got in his hand, and I can't really tell what it is. But then they go do a close-up shot of it, or a better close-up shot of it, and I see it, and I'm like, oh my god, this universe now has fucking guns. Because it's in the thumbnail, so you're gonna see it. And if you've already watched the episode, you've already saw it as well, but he has a fucking minigun. They added guns into the Naruto-verse. Obviously, it's not really a gun, because they're not shooting gunpowder or anything, cause a chain reaction for a bullet to shoot out, but it's still a fucking minigun, and I just couldn't believe it when I saw it and realized what it was, and I can't stop laughing about it, because it's that fucking ridiculous that they now canonically have guns in the Naruto universe. They specify that it's a scientific ninja tool, so that's just what they're gonna keep fucking calling it, I guess. And it's shooting off more fire jutsu style bombs, and I'm just like, okay, well, whatever. I guess that's just something that we're gonna have to live with, because I was thinking about it, right? And I was like, well, last week when they showed off like the whole chakra blade thing, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they would create something like that, you know? Because they were already able to infuse chakra onto blades such as like kunai and like swords and stuff, and that made sense, right? They were able to infuse a little bit of their chakra onto like the outer part of the blade itself, and the fact that years later they've now created a tool for the blade itself to actually be a huge chakra blade, it makes sense, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that they would create something like that. It's kind of cool. Then they made this. then they made this, where it's just a minigun, and it's shooting off jutsu bombs and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I guess we've gone into the deep end, huh? The writers have certainly been smoking some hot shit, some really good kush or something, because I don't know how they created something like this. I don't know what the creators are doing over over in the studio, but whatever. It's whatever. I thought it was hilarious, but I don't think we're gonna ever really see anything like this ever again. It was just for this one. It was like this one-time thing. I think it's kind of gonna be like the chakra blade that we saw last week as well. We're not gonna really see any of these things ever again, but the fact that the universe now kind of canonically has them, I think is hilarious. And by the way, I mentioned last week that Code was potentially going to be the traitor for Kara, but then I also mentioned that he was probably just a red herring, and he's not actually the traitor. Yeah, they didn't really do anything with him. Code isn't the traitor, it's someone else. And this, if they were gonna have him like again, like I was saying before last week, if they're gonna build up this mystery of who the traitor really is, could they at least build up the mystery as to who it actually is? Like, maybe have the audience think that it's actually Code instead of just basically admitting that up front, yeah, it's definitely 100% not him and it's someone else. I don't know. I feel like they should have done more with that and shouldn't have made it obvious as to, he wasn't a traitor. I feel like they should have done something better with it. Whatever, it's not really that big of a deal, but I wish they did more with it, but what can you do? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap things up because I don't really have anything else other than to say then, yeah, the whole thing with Ao having a minigun is hilarious. Mugino sacrificed himself in a pretty decent moment where he actually gets like stabbed with like the chakra blade that Ao, I mentioned earlier, had in his arm. He gets stabbed with it, and he's like, fuck it, the only thing I could do left after asserting the situation is I have to sacrifice myself so everyone else can get the hell out of there. And he does a callback thing to Boruto, and he's talking about like the moment where Mugino specifically asks Boruto to take care of his pet turtle. I think it was a turtle, and yeah, it was a little nice moment there. The whole thing with Code and the Kara showing up in the episode, I thought was really weird and how they handled it. That's pretty much it. That's all I really have to say. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like. If you're new, subscribe. I'll see you guys next one. Have a fantastic day. Go check out my other previous videos that I've uploaded recently because I think they're pretty funny. Yeah, I'll go ahead and see you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.